Good morning. It is July 6th. It is a Monday morning here in Reno. It's a beautiful day. It's going to be in the 90s. I hope everybody had a happy 4th of July celebrating our nation's 250th birthday. I thought I'd just put up a real quick video because this morning I was watching the news and Donald Trump made a humongous announcement, but astrologically, I've put out there, and I got a couple other channels I watch, like the World Astrology Report. But July, Cancer, there's this alignment called the basket. And it is the three outer planets, Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus, all at 4 degrees within their sign or from whatever position they have. But it basically makes 444, which is kind of a, I would say it's like a Jesus number. But, the truth is, everything's both good and bad. Numbers are both good and bad. There are 7 virtues, there are 7 vices, But a famous astrologer, I don't have his name, I'll see if I can put it in the comments, but it was back in 2019, he saw this basket formation, and he said it's going to be transformative. The whole world is going to change for, he didn't know how. He just said, if not in the month of July, it's a sign that soon afterwards things will change. But things have been changing at an incredible pace anyway, so it's not even all that surprising. But what Trump announced was the Trump accounts. I guess, I thought they actually had already been passed and set out there. But he had a big ceremony in the White House, and the New York Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ, they were all there. All these super rich people, the Dells, they donated $6 billion. And they said it would help 6 million kids. So it's $6 billion, 6 million kids, that's 666, And that's a number you find in Revelations. It says 666, is the number of the beast. But like I said, numbers are both good and bad. And 666 is found in other spots in the Bible. I think it was Solomon got 666 talons of gold, and so on and so forth. But, I'll say, I personally kind of like Donald Trump. And presidents could be both good or bad or both. They can change, So it's very important that leaders, kings, presidents, even dictators, if they believe in God and your faith in God is demonstrated or manifested in the fruits you bear. So if you're doing evil, despicable stuff, the God you're following is the devil, But even in the scriptures, there were kings that started out good and ended up bad, But for some reason, in the book of Revelations, I think it's Revelations 13, it seems like it could be talking about Trump because there's a mention of the last Trump, a head wound that he was healed from. And, that's all where, money-wise, it starts saying, hey, if you don't get the mark of the beast, you won't be able to buy or sell. And, to me, it resonates Donald Trump. And my mind's open to where, as you read Revelations, you can't just look at everything and say it's evil, because it could be either or both, So the beast, the whore is riding the beast. There's 4 of them that come out of the ocean in Daniel 7. And the 4th, I think that could be where we're at, 444. It's the beast with the terrible teeth that is unlike any of the beasts that were before. And I think that's where we're at, even though that might be part of the deception, because, everybody, the more we look backwards, the more it seems like they knew more than we know. But maybe we're catching up, it's hard to say. But that's where, like, the disclosure comes from. And, disclosures could be from both good and bad sources. To me, it's a good thing if God is disclosing things. If it's something else, who knows? But I'm going to kind of wrap it up there. But, like I said, Trump, to me, is kind of resonating in a positive way. But, the pride before the fall, make America great again. I do like America being number one, top notch. But we must never lose sight of the Father and always be humble. And, sometimes you kind of wonder, because MAGA might go a little off to the right or the left or whatever and be a little too prideful, even America can be humble. So we shall see. And the Trump accounts, it's definitely going to bring, because 6 million was just the start. It could end up, I think they actually gave the number. Do I want to say 60 million? I think it was like 70 or 80 million children. Maybe it was 70 million, because that's kind of like a 7 number. 7 times 10. 710, my birthday. But that's how many people they want to get signed up. And they're trying to get children even before the program started. They want everybody on there so everybody can have money. And, we use the word unity. America is supposed to be indivisible, united we stand. You can be united, but like I said, the Tower of Babel, when they were united, they decided to make war with God. And, you could be united in not believing in God. That's not a good thing. But, all these kids, they're putting on the system. They're feeding them into the beast. And, I got this saying, or I've heard this saying, I didn't come up with it, but it's kind of like the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And, just because you have good intentions, that doesn't mean it manifests a good result. But all things are to the glory of God. So, he's in control. But, I say today, 7/6 is a super transformative day. And, harmony, is it because we're all going to have money? That's the harmony that we're going into? Or is it everybody, even though Trump's setting up the program, will the next president, tear it apart? Like Joe Biden, his whole outlook on life is, I'm just going to reverse everything that Donald Trump did, regardless of what it is or how it affects people. And that's complete stupidity. But, there are people that say, show me the money, the demons, show me the money. Or can we all live? I'd like to see a world in perfect harmony that everybody has money. And that's what they're saying is, hey man, we are now setting up the future generations to have money and have a good life, whereas the future wasn't looking so bright. But right now, future is looking bright, May your path be blessed. I will try and get some more stuff up. My birthday's the 10th. And, if you're watching, that means your eyes are opened and you're at least, your mind is open that something might be going on. All right. God bless.